Hello, and welcome to Lesson 2 of Microsoft Excel, made by the American Institute of Techniques and Management. In this lesson, we'll be mostly concentrating on the ribbon. But first, let me talk a bit about the difference between all the versions you might see in Microsoft Excel. First off, until now you've been working with Microsoft Excel 2007. It looked just like this. You remember me talking about the ribbon? You remember me talking about each and every part of what you see here and the titled Book 1. Okay, but first off, why is this so important? Well, before we can go through the ribbon, I have to show you how Microsoft Excel used to look like beforehand. This is Microsoft Excel 2003. As you can see, there is a major change. There is no ribbon. Here you simply see icons and they slide down after clicking them. I will not be showing you how it works because in the new versions it is much easier. So, how did it evolve? Well, here you can see the version 2010 Excel. There is no real change in basic usage of Microsoft Excel in the version 2010. Maybe a part of this part. Beforehand, you had the Office button over here. Right now, this is the Office button, and this is the Excel button. I will show you the difference in just a moment. We will be working from now on in Microsoft Excel 2013, which is the most current version at this time, which is May 2014. So let's go on. This is the file we made in lesson 1. I will open it to show you the difference. As you can see, the visuals changed a lot, but believe me, in basic usage, there's, well, almost none difference between them. If you learn to work in Excel 2007, you most definitely know how to work in Excel 2013. The difference is visual for more expert users, so this tutorial will not cover the differences, only I will explain the visual differences so that you understand how it works. So, let's go to the key focus of this tutorial. In lesson 2, as I said, we will be mostly concentrating in the usage of the ribbon, which is the biggest command post for everything you do here in Excel. Only difference you need to know for now is right here, which is the Excel file. As you can see, only things you can do is basically close, open, minimize, exit, that's all. And the other thing is the file button. Let's push it just to show you what happens. You jump into a new window and it still has all the new things that Excel 2007 had, but some more stuff. So basically you can print, save, open, create a new file, but it adds in the account version where you log into your account and you can save your files on a server made by Microsoft Office. Let's go to the ribbon. Let's talk about this a bit more. First off, let's go to the left. You can see the Home tab where you see the clipboard part. As I said previously, by pushing this button, you simply push in the much more advanced parts of each and every of these sections. We will be not talking about this right now. Okay, so you see 4 buttons here. First off is paste, cut, copy, and format painter. What these do? Well, let's say that you want to create more than one exactly the same piece of data. So we want to copy all this data right next to it. You can do it in two ways. First off, let's mark it by holding the left mouse button and push over here, copy. You see that Excel covers this area. You can see the difference. There are special marks around it. It just goes around. It tells you that this area is in the copy clipboard. Excel remembers the area you are using right now for copying, and you can send it somewhere else, even a different file. It doesn't really matter. So how do we copy this? We marked it to copy, but it just didn't jump anywhere. So let's mark one part of Excel, anywhere really. Let's say you want it to be over here. Well, but you marked only one small part. Will it fit? Well, of course not. What you have to do is paste. Well, here you can see that the first cell that we marked is H1. As I said, you cannot put all the data in this one cell. Well, you can, but in a different way. So you want it all to be copied from here on. Excel will measure the width and height of the data you chose and paste it in the same area beginning from the left cell. So in this case it will be A1. So to do it, let's simply push paste over here. So this is what it does. First of all, you copy and then paste. As you can see, the data is exactly the same. Excel did not stop copying this data, because if you do it again, let's say in H17, and push paste again, it will paste the same data over and over again. Let's undo this. Okay. But using the buttons over here is quite problematic. It will take you a lot of time, and well, to be honest, it's not so useful. To do it much faster, let's do it again, cover this area, and the keyboard shortcut for this operation is, I'll show you over here, Ctrl+C. So just push any area, let's say over here, Ctrl+C, and see what happens. It copies the area. So let's go over this area again, Ctrl+C, and we have copied this area. And to paste, as I showed before, you have to push Ctrl+V. So let's do it right now. Ctrl+V. It's as simple as that. It helps you control your data in a much wider manner. If you have any documents you want to copy the data from and into, this is very helpful. So to do so, I will create a different file and try to show you how to copy data from one file to another. This is a new file, and it's named book1, as usual if you open Excel in the beginning. Let's write anything down. John Smith again, let's say. Let's widen a bit the width and height. Okay. That's the wrong cell. Okay. You see the cell being much bigger. Let's see what happens if we copy this cell by Ctrl+C. And let's jump to the second file. I have both of them in my clipboard. Let's go to lesson 1. Yeah. And in lesson 1, let's pick Ctrl+V. As you can see, Excel copied, but just only the value, or as I should say, what was written inside that cell. It doesn't copy the width, the height of your window. So, for your first exercise in this video, please mark the area, push Ctrl C, and paste it in cell J1. I'll do it for you right now. Yeah, and that's it. This is what you have to do. Okay, to cover more of the buttons over here. Here in the clipboard, you can see a pair of scissors over here. This operation is called cut. It allows you to remove the data by simply deleting it. If you have any problems by using the delete button or anything, or you just want to delete the data and copy it somewhere else. You don't want this data to be here, you want it to be here, but you do not want to do few operations at the same time. You do not want to do Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then going back here and pushing delete. This actually makes you do 3 operations. Okay, let's go back. And please note that I will not be using these buttons anymore because, well, basically what you can use is Ctrl Z and Ctrl Y to undo and redo. This is very easy. Please maybe write down those commands for the beginning. It will be very useful for you in the future because undo and redo is one of the mostly used operations in Excel, as is copy and paste. These are probably 4 most important operations you have to remember in Microsoft Excel. Okay, what you can do is push your right mouse button, and over here you can see the 3 options: cut, copy, and paste. But the best way is simply using the keyboard, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Yeah, remember that. Okay, for cut, as you can see, you can use Ctrl X. Please remember that if you, let's say, forget any of those, you can go, as I showed you, over any of these icons and it will show you the keyboard shortcut. But don't forget, it always shows over here. Okay, so this covers the clipboard. Next, the font. The font part in the Home tab covers mostly the visual effects you can do on the data. These are the most simple visual effects you can do, like changing the actual font, making it bold or italic or underlined. You can change the colors, you can change the colors of the letters, you can change the colors of the entire worksheet. You can make the letters or the numbers bigger. This is mostly what this does. So let's do some of these operations right now. Let's begin with the John Smith America, which is your name and surname and the word America. Just go over it, mark it. Okay, I have actually chosen beforehand the Calibri, and it is the font size 11. By clicking this small rectangle pointing down over here with your left mouse button, this shows you all the fonts you can use. These are actually not all the fonts available in Microsoft Excel. You can add in different ones, but typically it's never done unless you have a specific alphabet, let's say, which requires this. So over here you can see most basic alphabet which is available in the English version of Microsoft Excel. Okay, let's choose the Calibri, which was here before, and let's switch to, I don't know, Arial Narrow or Arial Black. You see the font changed. This is the difference. The letters are actually looking a lot different, and this effect will be shown on the page you want to print. Okay, let's make the letters, let's say, much bigger. We want them just to be really huge. Let's say 48. And let me explain right now what happened. Well, you see that the font, well, the letters are over here, but you can't see them. This happened before because actually we have the wrap text over here, yeah, as you remember, and the letters are just way too big for this simple cell. Let's push the wrap text button. And what happened here is, even though we push the wrap text button, the height of the row that we're working in is just not enough for us. As I told you in the first lesson, remember that if the text is too long, it will take a few cells on the right, and if we zoom in, you can see that there is no mark over here, and over here, which means that this text is actually this long. We cannot see it because the height is, well, too small. Excel doesn't take each word to take 2 rows. It always stays in 1 row, but it can take a few cells in the right column. Okay, so let's zoom out and make the height a bit bigger. Yeah, you can see the text being this long. Let's widen this one also, and you can see the John Smith right here, right now. Okay, let's add maybe the America part. Okay, so what I want you to do is to do the same thing with your text right now. At any part of this video, please feel free just to pause and do the exercises. And I will go to the next one. So what we did until now is make it a bit bigger, change the font. You also may want to have some fun with the font just to see the different styles. There are many styles, so I will not go over all of them because, well, it depends on what you want to do at this time. Okay, let's go to Arial Black, which is the second most basic text. I guess the Arial is the basic text for Microsoft Excel, so let's leave it at this, even though it's not so much aesthetic, but it doesn't. We don't care right now. Okay, what we want to do next is make it bold. What does this mean? Well, I would explain it. I'll just push the button and show you. It's over here. And what happened? Well, the text, the words itself became a bit wither. The marking all over the letters, the letters actually been covered by a line all over it. So they look a bit more fat, let's say. Yeah, and this happens on any type of font you want. I don't know, let's choose this one. Maybe not a good one. Oh yeah, over here. And push the bold button. You can see it being a bit more fat. Okay, so what does the italic button do? Well, let's push it. You can see it slightly going to the right, and this is actually the entire effect. This is simply aesthetic, so don't worry. This will only cover the part of how it looks like. Okay, and the underline. You can see the underline just showing below the text. But here you have 2 options, the simple 1 underline and the double underline. Okay, what you can do right now is do the same thing as an exercise, and please write this down. Let's just save it. Still in lesson 1, we want to operate on lesson 1 for now. Okay, let's push it over here. What if you wanted to do this, but only with the word John? You do not want to use the Smith America part. Well, you do not have to work and operate only here on the cell. You can operate here, as I showed you before. Okay, so let's undo all the changes. Just bold, italic, underline. So it's back to the Bodoni font. Okay, we can mark the John word over here and do all the operations we did before. But please note that right now it only happens with this one word. Okay, so do the same with your word, and let's go on. Next, we want to make the cell, the entire cell, it is inside, the word is inside, in a different color. Okay, so this covers this part. Yeah. Let's choose a color like yellow. And what did happen right now? Well, we covered only this one cell, but we still want all of these cells to be in different color. Maybe let's use different colors for each cell. There are so many colors, it doesn't really matter right now. And like this, and oh, sorry, this is for the letters, and like this. Okay, please do the same thing with your text. Please notice that what happened right now, we changed the color for each separate cell. By simply dragging few cells, you can change all of their colors. And if you want more colors, because these are only the basic colors, you can choose them from over here or even from over here. This allows you to choose a very specific color. You can even use the HSL, which is, well, much more advanced, and over here you will simply have to have some fun. This needs, well, some practice. So work with the colors, try them out just to see for yourself how this works. This will take you probably about 5 minutes just to see maybe 10, maybe 20 different colors, just to feel free with the color. Please notice over here that currently you see the current and the new color. We've marked the yellow cells below. So this shows the simple color that is over here. And you can see in comparison those two colors over here, and this is the new color. We mark the color by dragging with your left mouse button over here, just to see the color over here. And you can choose the shade of this color on the right. So this simplifies the work to a maximum. You can also choose the standard color as I showed you before. Okay. So this covers the colors. What else can you do? Well, let's mark the cell itself. What can we do with the cell without entering any text? Let's look over here. This allows you the bordering of each cell. So right now we have the typical bottom border marked. Let's just move our cursor somewhere over here just to show you how it works, and push it with the left mouse button. As you can see, a dark line shows over here.